Hello, everyone. This is Felicia Bender, the practical numerologist, and we are talking about the sixth personal year. So, if you are new to numerology, you're not even sure what the personal year is, please take a moment, go down to the description box. I talk about the personal year, show you how to calculate it, all those good things. And yet, I figure that if you've clicked on this for the sixth personal year, you already know that you are in a sixth personal year. It is what you want to know about. So, we're going to dive right in. Okay. So, the personal years in numerology, they go from 1 through 9. The sixth personal year is a year that is devoted to responsibilities, to relationships, and to feeling at home. So when I talk about the numerology here, numerology is not just like talking, right? It's not just blah blah blah. It actually is vibration. It is energy. It is actually affecting us whether we know about it or not, or whether we believe in it or not, right? And most people will feel this energy that is guiding them, supporting them through a year. And so, the purpose of knowing the energy related to your personal year, knowing the themes, is so that you can align more specifically with it, right? You can use the energy rather than the energy using you. So, if you're in a six personal year, after the five personal year, which was all about freedom and kind of shaking things up, right? The six is kind of a landing place where you get to focus much more on your sense of responsibility. You kind of got to, I don't know, kind of got to go all over the place last year if you chose to. So this year, you're being asked to focus really on the energies related to the number six. Even if you look at the number six in numerology, it looks like a little pregnant belly, right? It is the six is known as that cosmic parent, that nurturing presence. So when it shows up as the energy supporting you or guiding you during a personal year, that's going to be the flavor. And those are going to be the thematics and the experiences that you're being asked to engage with and to engage in. So, what I will always say about the sixth personal year is that the theme song is "Should I Stay or Should I Go?" Right? Da 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 da. Or should it stay or should it go? It's an evaluation year. The goal here is to get serious about how you love and how you want to be loved in return. It's also really bringing up issues around where you feel at home. Whether that's your physical home, whether that's your spiritual home, whether that's your physical body, whether that's it's about this feeling of being nurtured, being at home, with yourself and in your body, mind, and spirit, right? And yet, if we want to go back and really, I don't know, back into the pragmatic aspects to it, it can be about your home. It could be moving home, moving your house, moving where you live, either building a home. It could be doing a renovation. It could be doing a new garden area, or anything of that nature can come up in a sixth personal year to be up front, to the front of the line, right? Front of the priority pole. And yet, it really is a time to evaluate your relationships and to take on some added responsibility. Okay, so with that said, let's kind of dissect it here, right? Because in terms of what it's all about in the bring it on category, it's all focused on relationships. And at the risk of being corny, I'm going to be corny anyway. It's really mostly about your relationship with the number one person in your life, which is you. How is your relationship with you? Last year was really a shaking up time, and so in light of that, who are you now? what's going on with you internally, externally? What are your values? How do you, how are you creating yourself as you go along, right? This is an obvious thing. We all do this. This is what life is all about. And yet, in a sixth personal year, this is really, really, really at the front of the line. It is about your relationship with you, and then it goes into all that kind of concentric circle around. If you're married, it's with your partner, with kids, family of origin, siblings, colleagues, friends. All of those relationships are up for review. And usually, this is a time where you're looking at it and going, does this feed me or does this deplete me? How do I show up in these relationships, and how do other people show up with me and for me in the relationships? So these are questions that, again, it's not a weekend workshop during a six personal year. It is all year long. So it brings on those relationship issues, if you want to call them issues. I think they're just topics. It is also a great year for romance, for up leveling your relationship. Often, this is a time where if you are married, if you're in a marriage and things are going along just great, then it's really a time to reinvest in that relationship, to take it to the next level, to really solidify those bonds that you have with your partner. Now, let's say that there's trouble in paradise, right? Maybe there's something isn't going well, and it is really the year where that will come up to be worked with. So it's a time where you usually decide to up level or to say, no, this isn't working. In numerology, the number six is known as the marriage and divorce number. And all that really means is that it is the relationship number, it is the home number, it is the family number. And so all of those components of life will be affected when you're working with the number six. So it's also about service, about mentoring. You might be called into mentorship during a six personal year on a greater level. You might take on some additional responsibilities. They could be, again, you could run the gamut of intensity. It could be maybe, you're helping to place a parent in assisted living, right? And you're having to go through all of that, not only the practicalities, but the emotional practicalities with that. Maybe a child graduates. Maybe I don't know, maybe there's an accident and someone needs to be cared for to recover and get well. Those are the sorts of things that can also happen during a six, in terms of just really being supportive, offering that kind of support and service, and taking on those additional responsibilities. It is a time to feed your friendships, feed your relationships, that good food, right? Good, nourishing food. Think about it in terms of the six being the ultimate nurturer. And that is also has to do with nourishment on every level, mind, body, and spirit, right? So it's making everything into a very nutritious experience, in terms of feeding us in the healthiest, most dynamic way. It's really also a year where you can pursue creative or service related projects. The sixth personal year is a very magnetic year for business, especially if that business is in the service industry, if it's dealing with the elderly, with pets or animals, with children, with relationship dynamics, couples. If you're a couples counselor, if you're writing a book, if you're doing a class or a course, anything related to that is very, very supported during a six personal year. All right, so what you can expect, the challenge points might be during a six, is the six is well known for its perfectionism, control, and the critical eye, and having kind of that judgment, self righteousness, which comes from a good place. It comes from a place of wanting things to be good, to everyone to be, happy in some way, and yet what the energy of the six offers in terms of it being the supportive energy for you, no matter what your, for instance, your life path number is during this time. Um, it's it's really going to offer you what windows into understanding where you're controlling, where you're perfectionistic, and where you're judgmental, and where it would benefit you from stepping back, right? On the other end, it can actually push you into saying, hey, you abdicate your responsibility, you don't step up during these when you're being asked to be supportive and all of that. So the energy of the six is going to kind of nudge you in that direction rather than the other. So again, we're always dealing with the two extremities, the overactive or the underactive aspects of the number, right? There can be really high expectations during this time that are really hard to meet. So you have to be really kind and have some grace with yourself and also with others, with those around you. There's a lot of opportunities to give during this time, to be of service, and not in a martyry, get over giving way. That's the dividing line here. It's in that way that makes you feel so fed, so nourished, so good. When you're working with the six, you're really getting pleasure and satisfaction out of offering people your nurturing presence, a kind ear, some helpful service, anything of that nature. And it really is, if you do have a job, that is more of a counseling nature, more of a helpful service nature. This really good opportunities can come in. It can be a really great year to bolster that part of your life or career. All right. And it really is a time to focus on your home and what your home means to you, and to gussy it up. That's a funny word, isn't it? Gussy. So I haven't used that word in I don't know how long. So gussy it up or fix it up or just beautify your home. And it often really is home is where the heart and hearth is in a six personal year.